What is going on, you guys? Pep Platypus here, and it is time to do a double review. My first double review for Young Justice Season 2. What the fuck? No, seriously. Holy shit. There's too much to even talk about in this one episode. I mean, the fact that they skipped 5 years, okay, that's not that big of a what the fuck. They all look different. You know, Robin's Nightwing now. That's pretty cool. I'm not even that surprised by that so much. It's... the new characters are like, what the fuck. Superboy and fucking Ms. Martian not being a thing is like, what the fuck. We don't see Aqualad or Wally or Artemis, so okay. And, like, I don't even know, like, we have Blue Beetle, who my knowledge of Blue Beetle goes as far as Justice League vs. Teen Titans, the animated movie, so he's basically the same from what I could tell. He talks to the beetle on his back, he's Hispanic, and that's pretty much all I know. Beast Boy's there. He got set up in the previous season. That was really, really cool. New Robin. We got Tim Drake. We're skipping Jason Todd for obvious reasons. I don't know if they're going to do anything with that, because they only skipped 5 years. You could still technically do something with Jason Todd and his storyline, but probably won't. They probably just skipped him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'll have to wait and see. Fuck, these episodes are probably, what, 2014? Maybe even 2013? I don't even know. But yeah, so the characters that were missing were interesting, but just the fact that relationships were changed and all these new characters. You had like the little wasp chick, I don't know her name, and then you had the other dude. I think those are the two from what's her name's high school. The ones I pointed out were like references to comic book characters before. Maybe. I don't know, I didn't catch their names. And then Rockets, which is the black chick, and Zatanna are part of the League. And then the other characters have open invitations to the League, like the other original Young Justice members, but they're still chilling with the youngins. We also had Batgirl and Wonder Girl and Lagoon Boy, who was voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, and I believe it could just be using the same voice actor, but Yuri Lowenthal also played... was he? I'm pretty sure he was Aqualad's friend from Atlantis, in that Atlantis episode. So maybe he changed somehow. Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know. It's interesting. It's cool. It was cool how they set it up, too, because you see Superboy, and he looks mostly the same. Maybe he's a little lankier, he was a little taller, but he looks like Superboy. And then you see, you know, Ms. Martian come in, she has the hood on, so you can't quite tell, and then Robin, and it's like, well, Robin looked different. Okay, what's going on? Maybe they skipped some time. And then Robin has a different voice, and her hair is short, and they all look older, and then you see Nightwing, and it was a cool reveal. We get a little bit of follow-up on the whole, like, 16 hours with the core Justice League members being missing, so that was pretty cool. We still don't know what they did, but this alien race is involved, and I guess this season is called Justice League Invasion, so I feel like we're going to get a lot of outer space, alien stuff, and that's where it cliffhangered with one of the teams going to a different planet. So that was really cool. And, yeah, I'm just interested to see what the other members are doing that we didn't see, like Wally and Aqualad and Artemis, and I'm interested to see like some kind of backstory as to how all these people joined them, because it's just out of nowhere. Like, a couple of them, I'm like, okay, Beast Boy, he was set up, that's fine. If this Lagoon Boy is Aqualad's friend, okay, he was not really set up, but at least he already existed. And Batgirl, I think we saw Barbara Gordon, we saw her at the school with Robin and Artemis, so... okay, but then you have, like, Wonder Girl and fucking Blue Beetle and fucking, like, relationships are changed around, and it was crazy, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. Trying to think what else. No, pretty much it. I mean, it was good, you know, and it was cool that we focused on Blue Beetle, Lagoon Boy, and the new Robin, Tim Drake. Because it was kind of cool to see them sort of fill the shoes of it, because it kind of mirrored the original to a certain degree. Because you had like these three dudes, including Robin, go on a mission, and then they went underwater, and they kind of went into an underground place, you know, and it focused on three of them, and then the League all shows up at the very end. So it was kind of mirroring the first episode a little bit, which I kind of liked, but it wasn't like a carbon copy of the original either. So yeah, I really enjoyed it though. It was actually a really fun episode. I need to see the explanation as to where the fuck the black dude came from, and the black chick. Like, they were there, they existed, but they had no hints of being in any way, like, having powers, or they were just high schoolers, so Yeah, I don't know. It's cool though. It's really cool. I noticed too a lot of times it's like these sidekick knockoffs, like the ones that are just like their originals, like Superboy, Wonder Girl, and even Miss Martian to a certain extent. They're basically like their outfits are basically just casual versions of their superhero counterparts. Like you can see Wonder Girl's just sort of wearing a casual outfit that looks kind of Wonder Woman-ish. And Superboy is obviously wearing a very casual looking Superman outfit, and even Miss Martian, even though she has like the cape, but she kind of just wears like a skirt, t-shirt, it has like the X across it, but it's just kind of funny. But yeah, not really much else to say about this one. I'm sure there's other things that they established that I missed, or I'm not remembering in the review, but they did a lot of new things in this episode. Definitely risky move, but I think it'll pay off because Young Justice has great writers. But yeah, some explaining would definitely be nice. I don't really need explanations on how Zatanna and Rocket became League members. That's just obvious. Oh, and Red Arrow. Where the fuck's Red Arrow at? He's MIA too, which I kind of expected, but definitely need to have some kind of establishment on him 5 years later. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. It was a really, really, really good episode. I'd probably give it a solid, setting aside the fact that they do need to explain things because that's obvious. They set it up in a way where you're supposed to be like, what the fuck? So, setting that aside, obviously, it's a really solid episode, though I will say, as a premiere and in terms of story progression, it was mainly just setting up new things for the season. So it's a little bit tricky, but I'd probably give it still a solid 8.5 to 9. It was honestly a fantastic episode. The introduction of all these new characters and just being just a general just time skip and everything. I don't know, I just really, really enjoyed this one, despite the fact that I was like, what the fuck's going on for like a few of these characters and a few of these situations. But yeah, and we saw Lobo. Lobo's always cool. I don't know much about him other than he's fucking badass looking and fucking like apparently strong as fuck. But yeah, so cool. I mean, I really don't have much else to say. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I'll just move on to episode 2. But yeah, I'll probably just want a solid 8.5 to like an 8.8 to like a 9. I thought it was an amazing episode. I definitely really enjoyed it. I enjoyed its setup, and I enjoyed its animation, of course. All the technical aspects were on point. It was cool to see where all the characters were. Robin. Oh, and no, I actually do have to mention this. It's cool to see Robin become Nightwing, and it's cool because it's not just like, oh, well, it's like the comics. They actually set it up within, excuse me, they actually set it up within this series, which I think is a really cool attention to detail. The therapy sessions always go back to how amazing the therapy sessions were. He talks to Black Canary about how he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. Like, he's been training to be his own superhero, but he doesn't want to be like Batman. And I love that they set that up so that when he becomes Nightwing here, it just makes sense. I mean, if he became Nightwing, it'd be like, all the people watching would be like, oh, cool, he's Nightwing. Or if they know the comics, they'd be like, oh, yeah, he becomes Nightwing in the comics. But I love that they had enough attention to detail to sort of set it up within this series. Not just rely on like, oh, it's like the comics so people will know. So I think that's really, really cool. Even though it's only a tiny little like hint, like, oh, I don't want to be Batman. But still, I think it's something that's really, really cool. So hopefully they can explain all these other characters for the people who don't read the comics. But anyways, let's just move on to Season 2, Episode 2. Okay, so Episode 2, Earthlings. This was a pretty damn good episode. Not as many crazy surprises and not as much as explaining as I would have liked, but I feel like we'll get the answers over time. This one pretty much focused exclusively on Superboy, Miss Martian, Beast Boy, and their group with, what's his name? Adam Strange, who is a he's very much a more distinct character than I thought he would be. He's actually, I won't say like well developed or anything, but he definitely had more characterization than I thought he'd be. I thought he'd be like kind of like a fodder scientist guy, but he was a little bit more interesting, which was kind of cool. This episode had a lot of cool moments. Starting off with Beast Boy, apparently his mom died in a car accident, which is crazy. It was a nice touching moment. You got the emotion out of it that you needed, and it was really cool. It was cool to see him not be in his monkey mode, because I noticed he was in like this half monkey mode for a while, and I was like, is that how he permanently is? But no, when he saw that and snapped into like a Vietnam flashback sort of thing, he turned back into his normal self, which I think just a little touch like that really adds a lot, that he just broke transformation for a second, and he cried, and she held him, and it was a really nice moment. A a little bit of explanation on Superboy and her relationship. I guess it was just maybe the artist at the time in the previous episode, because I thought Superboy maybe looked a little taller, a little leaner, but apparently he doesn't age at all, so he does, and he does look the same. I don't know, I just thought in the last episode, I was like, oh, he looks a little leaner. Maybe it's just because I thought, you know, well, these other characters look different. And again, it could have been the artist, but yeah, apparently he doesn't age, and he's the one who broke up with her, which you would assume it's the other way around, but he broke up with her, and I'm definitely interested to find out why, because he said she gave me no choice, which is very interesting. And then I think it has something to do with mental manipulation, because she basically fucked this fucking little alien dude at the end. She took the souvenir for Beast Boy. Also interesting that Beast Boy is picking up souvenirs. Where the fuck is Wally at? This has me really interested. Like, where's Wally? Where's Artemis? Where's fucking Aqualad? It's got me very curious. You know, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, so Beast Boy's picking up souvenirs. She fucking mentally fucks this dude like crazy. He's just like drooling and shit, and Superboy gets pissed at her. So I feel like some kind of mental manipulation thing is probably what she did, that she fucked up. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's also interesting too when she asks how long they were together, and Superboy's like, my whole life. It's like, damn, that you gotta just put it in perspective for a second, like their relationship. It's kind of crazy. But we'll see what happens. I'm sure everything will maybe work out. I don't know. I mean, she's with Lagoon Boy, fucking possibly Aqualad's friend from Atlantis. And didn't he have a girlfriend who used to be Aqualad? So this fucker needs to stop stealing fucking superhero sidekick girlfriends, like straight up, if it's the same guy. But regardless, the rest of the episode was still really good. They're talking about how they want to build a shield so that these stupid little fucking gremlin aliens can't just travel to Earth. It would basically mean that all of the portals on Earth could still activate on Earth, and all of the portals on their planet could activate on their planet, but there'd be a shield blocking interplanetary teleportation. That'd be, you know, obviously ideal in this situation. But yeah, it was really cool. What else happened? That was pretty much it, though. A little bit of exposition on how they broke up. We don't know. We don't find out what happened, but you know. And then we get a little bit of Beast Boy backstory, and all around, it was a pretty solid episode that explained and did a couple things for characterization and character development, but also progressed this plot line that's going. This episode was pretty much a direct sequel to the previous episode, and this one semi-ended on a cliffhanger as well. So I'm thinking this season, I mean, it's only the first 2 episodes, so obviously it's like a premiere, so maybe that's why they're tied together so heavily. But I could see this season maybe being a little bit more focused on like a continuous continuity. I mean, the previous season did as well, but I feel like this one could be even more like almost anime-esque, where like each episode is a cliffhanger into the next, as opposed to the first season where there was a continuing continuity, but you could still isolate certain episodes as like, oh, there's a plot of this one, plot of this one, plot of that one. And this one was still kind of like that, I suppose, but... Oh, and the most important thing I forgot, too. Megan, Miss Martian, she knows what the Justice League did during the 16 hours, and that's where it ended. So, this is another really, really solid episode. I'd probably give this one a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was a very good episode. The animation, the music, the dialogue between characters, the characterization, the character development... still not explaining everything, but hopefully we can get maybe a couple flashbacks or a little bit more explanations. Still want to know what the fuck's up with Wally and Aqualad and Artemis. I mean, maybe they just went solo. I doubt they're dead or anything crazy like that. There's no fucking way, but they probably went solo, or Aqualad's just chilling at Atlantis, maybe early retirement or something. I don't know. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But it'll definitely be interesting when it finally happens. Also, the fucking Illuminati Watch! Where's the Illuminati Watch at? I'm surprised they haven't done shit in these first 2 episodes, but, because they weren't defeated at the end. They definitely weren't, so... Yeah, they'll have to come back into play, and it's gonna be interesting. I do miss the theme song, however, though. I liked the theme song. I do kind of miss. They just kind of show the title. They don't have any animations for it. That kind of sucks, but other than that, so far everything's been pristine, so... Yeah, I'll probably give this one a solid 8 out of 10, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what do you guys think of these episodes of Young Justice? You can tell me in the comment section below. Also, follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm Pat Platypus on both. Also, give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching.